Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jennifer Ngomalo. I do hope that you join us by clicking that red subscribe button on the bottom, and if you like my content, please make sure that you do smash that like button because it does help with the YouTube algorithm. On today's video, I'm bringing you my Sunday reset. This is more so of a chilled Sunday reset. Like most of the time during weekends, I go in, like I clean, I do all the stuff, but on today's video, not even on today's video, on this Sunday, I just didn't feel like doing anything. Actually, even the entire weekend, I didn't feel like doing anything because it has been raining since Friday. It had been raining, and it was still raining on this day as well. And so whenever it's raining for me, I just feel like it's time for me to relax. It's time for me to recharge, and that's exactly what I was doing on this day. And so my cleaning was minimal. It was more so like just putting everything in order, and not so much so of like, a clean with me. It is more so putting my house in order so that it's acceptable in my eyes. The first thing that we did was I made porridge for us, and then I also made my daughter's bed. My daughter has been really doing well when it comes to sleeping by herself. Like, even though she still wakes up there and there, but it's been much better. She hasn't been enjoying sleeping with me because I switch off the lights, and she doesn't like that. And that has made her to enjoy sleeping by herself even more, and that I enjoy very much so. Also, what I did was I did laundry. However, I did it in two takes. The first load, which I'm taking out right now on the line, I did on Saturday. And because it has been raining, I haven't been able to take out laundry outside so that it can dry all at once. And so I've been just hanging it inside the house, and I'm so grateful that I still have this line. And by the way, this line I got in 2017 when I got it in 2017 when I had my daughter. You can just imagine how long I've had it, and it's still there, even though it's not in good condition, but it still does the work. And so it helps on days where it's raining. And then after I had just taken out the laundry, I had to do the second part of the laundry. So what I normally do is when I'm doing my laundry, I actually soak it, especially the white stuff, the light colored stuff. Let me just say the light colored stuff, I soak them so that I can properly wash them, and then I put them in the machine. I know that there are other ways that you can achieve this without having to soak your clothes, but I'm just particular like that, you guys. I will soak my clothes, especially my light clothes, because I like my white to remain white, and then anything else, it's fine. But when it comes to my white, it's very important that they remain white, and that is why I soak them before I put them in the machine. Also, another thing that I did after I had just put in my laundry is I actually, organized in the kitchen. As I said, today it's not a matter of cleaning. I didn't even mop the floors. That's just how much I just didn't want to. And I feel like mopping the floors when it's raining is just a waste of time. I don't know if that's just me. So I didn't even mop the floors. It was just a matter of organizing the kitchen so that it's more airy. I have a small kitchen, a very tiny kitchen. Even the cabinet space is tiny. But whenever there are things on the counter, like too many things on my counters, it feels even more smaller and it feels closed in, and it makes it look like it's dirty. And so what I wanted to do here was to just clean, make sure that everything is in place, and just clean my counters, so that they look, they look lively, and the house also looks like there are people in it. So another thing that we did, which it's something that my daughter had been asking about for a long time, it is pancakes. Now because it was raining and the weather permitted, I had to do the pancakes, and my daughter was very happy about this because I haven't done this in a very long time. I think it had been months since I made pancakes, and so I thought, you know what, let me just make pancakes for us, something, to make the house smell nice and all cozy, especially since it is raining. And so pancakes were so fitting. And I actually learned when I started baking, because I did not know how to bake before. I used to buy the pre-made ones, the ones that are already mixed. But now I've actually learned to mix my own dough, especially when it comes to things like muffins. Even with pancakes, I no longer buy the pre-mixed one. I mix my own things now. Sometimes I will watch a YouTube video, like today when I was making these, I watched a YouTube video because there's this guy who just does who bakes nice. Like his bakings, they look nice. And so I was following his recipe here, and his recipe for pancakes it's not the thin one that are like, you know, too light. It's more sort of the thick ones, the bigger ones, you know, the hearty ones basically, you know. And so that's a recipe that I was following here, and it gave us exactly that, the thick hearty pancakes that still were very much fluffy, you know. And we had these pancakes on Sunday and Monday. When we came back from school and work, we finished the rest that we had.
항상 처음은 설레이지 널 보러 가는 길도 마치 구름 위지 너에게 하고 싶은 말을 생각하다가 나 이렇게 내가 바보라는 것을 알게 되었어 참 바보같이 머리부터 발끝까지 콩깍지가 쓰여낸 커피를 들고 햇볕 아래서 널 기다리다 내 마음이 녹은 것 같아 Let's go out in the sun 느낌이 왔어 이 리듬에 맡겨 발걸음에 맞춰 Fly with the wind 이 분위기를 타고 날아가지 못한 곳에 데려가줘 Time after time 사랑을 몰라 말들이 너무 많아 우리 걱정은 마 나는 널 보며 지금 말해 이제 조금 느낄 수 있어 yeah. Alright This feels good, you and I think we got something special and I don't need to try any harder It's just better, it's just good when I'm with you Oh, right, this feels good You and I think we got something special and I don't need to try any harder It's just better, it's just good when I'm with you Alright
언제부터 시작한지 잘 몰라 baby 너의 예쁜 목소리만 잘 알아 baby 너의 말이 내일이 when the sun's up Maybe we'll make some memories It's all up to you Some say it's all a lie Maybe you got me hypnotized Cause I don't slow down We don't know where we are going I just need you right on my side On the ride, yeah
Alright, this feels good You and I think we got something special And I don't need to try any harder It's just better, it's just good when I'm with you Alright, this feels good
Another thing that is very important for me on a Sunday is cooking, you guys, because I just feel like if I cook on Sunday, then I'm covered for Monday and Tuesday. Then I can think about cooking on Wednesday, but I just love cooking on Sunday because I feel like it sets the week even on a better stage. Because if I don't cook on a Sunday, that means that on Monday I'm not gonna have lunch, and if I don't have lunch, that means that I have to buy lunch, and I don't like that because I just feel like buying lunch out at work is very limiting because you don't get to control what you eat, especially the things that you eat. And so I like cooking so that I know that on Monday and Tuesday I'm gonna have lunch, and then on the afternoons when I come back, obviously I'm not gonna eat the same thing during the day and eat the same thing at night. So I find something else to eat at night, but I like to cook on Sunday so that I know that Monday and Tuesday I'm gonna have lunch for work, and also my daughter can also have, you know, a proper meal. And so that is what I was doing here. And also what I decided to do was, because I had ran out of the other type of chicken, but I also like chicken breast. So how I like to make it these days is to just make them like some sort of a curry, and I like to mix them with potatoes because I've actually been enjoying potato curry. Like, I've really been enjoying it. It has been taking me to my childhood. And I remember when I was growing up, I didn't like potato curry because I just feel like it's rooted in poverty. However, as I've grown up, I've learned to appreciate the things that I didn't appreciate as a child, just like the porridge that we eat with my daughter. I appreciate that now that I'm older. I appreciate a good potato curry. You know, I just appreciate it. I feel like whenever I'm eating it, I feel very good. I feel light. I don't feel like I just ate something bad. I just like it. I love it. I love it. And so how I've also been incorporating with chicken is that I will actually make the curry, and then I will use chicken breast on it so that there's meat and then there's also still potatoes. But sometimes I would literally just make potatoes alone, potato curry alone, and rice, and call it a day. Another thing, you guys, you know, this year I changed my rice. So before I used to cook spaghetti, but then I would find that it took longer, and so I decided to buy this other rice from Tastic, the long grain, I think. And at first I didn't know how to cook this rice. I didn't know, like, it was always a mess whenever I was cooking this rice. It will become like a porridge, it will just clump together. But I've nailed it down. Like, now whenever I'm cooking it, I'm just like, this is so good. Like, it comes out so nice, and it cooks within minutes, you guys. Like, this rice doesn't spend 30 minutes in a stove. 30 minutes is too long for this rice. Like, within the first 10 to 15 minutes is when you still have water. And then you take out the water, you rinse it. Oh, another thing that I learned is that when I'm rinsing it, I must not move it. Like, just let the water go through the rice and then leave it there to just drain off, and then put it back in the pot. And then when you put it back in the pot, you close it, you decrease the amount of heat, and then let it, you know, soak off all that water that is left in there, and then it is done. Like, as you put it back in the pot after you've removed the water, it still continues to cook, but now slower, but then still allowing it to get even more fluffier. And so now I've really been achieving the best rice ever. It took a while for me to understand how to cook this, even though the instructions are there on the packets, but I was always getting it wrong. But now I'm not gonna go back to the normal rice because I just feel like this one, perfect. It cuts the amount of time that you're gonna spend cooking rice, and it is very fluffy and light. Okay guys, so we're getting close to the end of this video. So now what I did here was, it was actually later on at night. I actually folded my daughter's laundry, the one that I had taken out during the day. The second load that I did, it was still very much wet because, as I said, it's raining, and so the laundry has to dry inside the house. So I was just folding this one with her, and she was busy with her, she called it homework, but she was busy drawing basically. And so I was doing that. And one thing I love about my daughter's bedroom is that I've made it conducive for her. Like, I've made it, you know, that happy place, that place where she can comfortably, you know that it's her room. I remember on these walls next to me, the walls in the bedroom, they actually had exposed brick, and at first I didn't mind, but as I stayed longer in this place, I hated it because it just made the rooms dingy. And so I covered all of it with plaster, and now because the paint is lighter, it makes the room look lighter, and it makes it inviting. And she enjoys sleeping here now. She really enjoys sleeping here. As I'm still going to do more things, like I still have to get a headboard for her, still have to get art for her, but I also believe in pacing myself whenever I'm doing any type of renovations or any type of improvements in my house, because the last thing I don't want is to find myself in debt because I'm trying to push things to go faster when it comes to styling my house. And then the last thing that I did was I actually did a little bit of self-care, and I enjoyed this. So I got these when I still had my business where I was working with other brands, and I had worked with Y'all's Beauty. And this mask I had forgotten how good it is, you guys. Like, after I washed my face and then I put it on, and then when I took it out and applied my cream, my goodness, my face felt so plump, so fresh. Even the following day, it felt so good. And so I really enjoyed this little bit of self-care that I did for myself. I even did the body scrub, which is something that I never do. I have 4 of these. Like, I have 4 of these from Y'all's Beauty, but I've only used it once, which was like months and months ago. So I enjoyed this, and it wasn't something like, you know, over the top and what, but it was more so like, okay, let me just relax so that I can, you know, have a good night's sleep. And I did that. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you if you've watched up until the end. Please make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up if you haven't, and also subscribe and join this family if you have not joined us as yet. Anyway, until I see you on the next one, please take care and stay safe. Bye.